Hey, it's David here. Have you ever wondered if selling digital products on Etsy is really as profitable as everyone claims? Well, I decided to test it out for myself by diving headfirst into Etsy digital sales for 30 straight days. And let me tell you, the results genuinely shocked me. I'll reveal exactly how much I earned, what products sold best, and the surprising lessons I learned along the way. But first, let's start with why I chose Etsy in the first place. You see, Etsy isn't just a marketplace for handmade crafts anymore. It's rapidly becoming one of the go-to platforms for selling digital products. Things like planners, templates, printable art, and even social media graphics. People claim you can make hundreds, even thousands of dollars with minimal effort after creating your products once. But is it really that easy? And is Etsy truly beginner-friendly, or is there more beneath the surface? Before we dive into my results, let me quickly walk you through exactly what digital products I decided to create. After some research, I chose three categories that seemed to have huge potential: printable planners, social media templates, and minimalist wall art. But here's the twist. I didn't spend weeks perfecting my designs. Instead, I wanted to test whether a total beginner could succeed with quick, simple creations. I made each product in under 2 hours using Canva, listed them all within a single weekend, and then sat back to watch what happened. Could such low-effort products genuinely bring in sales? Within the first week, something interesting happened. At first, it felt like crickets. No sales, hardly any views, and I started wondering if this whole Etsy digital product hype was just wishful thinking. But on day 5, I got my very first sale. A simple printable weekly planner that I'd made in just 45 minutes. And here's the shocking part. Once that first sale happened, more quickly followed. Why did this simple planner take off while my other products were still collecting digital dust? Turns out there was one critical factor I initially overlooked: SEO and keyword research. You see, Etsy is essentially a search engine. If your product listings aren't optimized with the right keywords, potential buyers simply won't find them. After realizing this, I made a few quick adjustments to my product titles and tags and almost immediately saw a spike in traffic and sales. But how exactly do you find these powerful Etsy keywords, and how did I identify the perfect ones for my listings? I'll break down that easy, game-changing strategy for you shortly. But first, let's talk about the numbers. By the end of week 2, I had earned just over $100 from digital products I'd created in a single weekend. Not life-changing, sure, but remember, this was purely passive income at this point. These products were selling themselves while I was busy doing other things. It was exciting, but it made me wonder, what would happen if I doubled down on what was working? Could these earnings significantly increase, or was this just beginner's luck? So, going into week 3, I made another bold move. I created a few more variations of my best-selling planner and wall art designs, again keeping things quick and simple. What happened next genuinely blew my mind. Sales nearly tripled from the previous week. Was this because Etsy rewards active sellers, or was something else driving this sudden growth? It turns out Etsy's algorithm does seem to favor consistent activity and fresh listings. But there's another huge factor I haven't revealed yet, a factor that probably contributed more to my sudden sales boost than anything else. And no, it wasn't ads or promotion. Curious what this hidden factor was? Stick around because I'm about to share exactly what sparked this surge and how you can use it too. Now, before I dive into that crucial detail, let me quickly answer a question you might be wondering. How much money did I actually make by the end of the full 30 days? And was the time investment truly worth it? Spoiler alert. The final number genuinely surprised me, and it completely changed how I see digital product businesses on Etsy. And what about you? Could you realistically achieve similar results, even if you've never sold anything online before? The answer to that question might just be even more surprising than the earnings themselves. But to fully understand, we need to explore that hidden success factor I mentioned earlier, because once you hear about it, you'll see why anyone, even complete beginners, can succeed on Etsy. Ready to hear exactly what that hidden factor was and the shocking final results of my 30-day experiment? Let's dive into it right now. Here's the surprising factor that completely changed the game: customer reviews. Yes, reviews turned out to be far more powerful than I ever imagined. Remember that very first planner sale I mentioned? Well, luckily, my first customer left a glowing 5-star review praising the product's simplicity and usefulness. Almost immediately after that review appeared, my product views and sales skyrocketed. Etsy's algorithm seems to heavily favor products with positive reviews, pushing them higher in search results, and this visibility directly translated into more sales. But how can you make sure your customers leave reviews, especially when you're just starting out? The answer is simpler than you might think. Excellent customer service and subtle encouragement. After every sale, I quickly message buyers a short, friendly note, genuinely thanking them for their purchase and kindly inviting them to share their feedback. Surprisingly, most customers appreciated the personal touch and responded positively, leaving reviews without hesitation. Now let's finally talk about the most important part, the final earnings. At the end of 30 days, my digital products generated just over $750. Keep in mind, I spent only one weekend creating these products. That's what genuinely amazed me. These weren't perfect, elaborate designs. They were simple, beginner-friendly creations that anyone could replicate. And once the initial setup was complete, it became entirely passive. Would investing more time yield even greater results? Probably. But even this initial experiment clearly proved that earning money from digital products on Etsy is definitely achievable, even for complete beginners. But before you dive into creating your own Etsy shop, there's something else critical you need to know: competition. Etsy digital products are becoming incredibly popular, which means many niches are getting crowded. So how can you still succeed if hundreds of other sellers are offering similar products? The secret lies in finding a unique angle or solving a very specific problem. Instead of a general daily planner, try targeting niche groups like busy moms, students, or entrepreneurs. Trust me, this targeted approach significantly boosts your visibility and sales potential. At this point, you might also be wondering, how sustainable is this Etsy digital product business? Can it realistically become a reliable passive income stream? The answer is yes, but only if you keep a few key factors in mind. Consistently adding new products, staying on top of Etsy SEO trends, and nurturing customer relationships will make your Etsy store thrive long-term. So, what exactly did this entire experiment teach me about selling digital products on Etsy? First, it's completely realistic and achievable for beginners. Second, success depends more on smart keyword strategies, good customer service, and strategic niche selection than on creating overly complicated or perfect designs. And finally, Etsy digital products truly can become a significant passive income source, especially if you're willing to consistently optimize and refresh your product offerings. Now I'm curious, after hearing about my journey, do you think Etsy digital products might be something you'd try yourself? Or if you've already tried Etsy, what's been your experience? Let me know in the comments. Your insights could help others just starting out too. And remember, the most important step is always getting started. The sooner you create your first product, the sooner you'll start experiencing results. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.